doesn't particularly like the ex-chief of police here.
No, he's upset somebody, isn't he?
He has upset somebody, but okay. So I'm not going to win on this firemen or firewomen.
No. Well, I don't think it matters. I'm in agreement with you. I don't think it really matters because we all know they're firefighters. So it's just a colloquial term, isn't it? It's used.
Why not use the term firefighters?
Well, most people do. I think.
We have firemen. We have postmen.
We have postwomen too.
Yeah, we have postwomen too. So let's call them posties.
I think so.
That's a good idea. Posties.
Posties.
Yeah.
Of course.
We do, don't we? We've got a great postman. He's a black bloke, and he comes around and he sings his heart out. He has his headphones on. You can hear him miles away singing away, But he's very pleasant.
I love our postman because he always comes around in shorts. Even if
they do, don't they?
Are we supposed to say a black postman or a postman of colour now? I'm not quite sure.
You're not allowed to say colour, are you? I got pulled up for that by saying a coloured person. Because that was offensive.
Is it the other way around? I don't know.
It's supposed to say black. It's supposed to say black now.
I really don't want to offend anybody, but I'm not quite sure what the etiquette is these days.
No more.
And isn't this the trouble? We're living in our own country and we're not allowed to speak proper speaking because we're frightened.
Mike, you might have a problem with proper speaking.
Could be.
Speak proper.
Clearly there are one or two small issues in that area that need to be dealt with, but I'm a great fan of political correctness where it's appropriate.
You're just a great fan.
I am.
Just admit it. Come on.
Just wave me.
Just wave. Yes, that's right.
There's another story from this used to be General Bryan's enemy, didn't it? The Taxpayers Alliance. They just published research revealing that councils are paying their staff millions more than they should be in mileage payments. HMRC has an approved rate for mileage payments, and yet 173 councils are paying their employees above the rate. We first exposed this back in 2011, and some councils have reduced their mileage payments to the approved rate, but it's an easy way of saving taxpayers money to the tune of millions without affecting any council services. Local authorities that have taken the easy step should be applauded, but there are many that haven't. One called Bassett Law, I don't know where Bassett Law Council is, paid the highest rate of all at 69 pence a mile, when the approved HMRC rate is 45 pence. Compared to a non-council employee paid at the approved rate, the Bassett Law Council employee is £60 better off over 250 miles, £120 better off over 500 miles, etc., etc. Now, this is coming out of people's council taxes. What do you think of this? Should they be paying over the odds for mileage?
There's a very simple answer to this, and it's just in the people's hands, because all they have to do is not vote for those councillors, because it's the councillors that set their own fees, remunerations. Apart from Milton Keynes Council, because they have set up an independent remuneration panel. They set up. In fact, oddly enough, I chaired the first one way back in many years ago, before 2000, before I was even a councillor, a local councillor, and I actually chaired the first one. And we got rid of a lot of we standardised the allowances, because what was actually happening was the councillor who was doing his job and going around and speaking to his constituents and her constituents and solving their problems didn't get anything for that, whereas the councillor that attended council meetings got a fee. I can't remember what it was, £60 or something like that. So obviously in a constituency with 2 or 3 members, they would either go along to the council meetings and neglect their constituents, or they would go and see the constituents and not get any money. It's totally unfair. So we got rid of all that, and we just said, no, you will get, every councillor will get a flat fee. And in fact, the flat fee in Milton Keynes now, I don't believe is about £10,000, something like that, £8,000.
What, as a councillor's allowance?
Just as councillor's allowance.
I think it's around 10,000.
Yeah, so about 10,000, something like that. But oddly enough, the leader of the council, who has control of a multi-million pound budget, only gets about 28, 29, 30,000.
Yeah, which is not really a lot of money.
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous, really, because if he was or she was CEO of a company with that sort of turnover, they would be on 200,000.
Isn't that the sort of money that the chief executive of Milton Keynes Council gets? Isn't that somewhere in the 160,000?
Well, I think it's more than that now.
Chief executive does.
I don't know. I heard it was that figure, but it could be a different figure.
You can get the figures online actually from the council. Yeah,
so I do that.
They're not easy to find. If you go to Milton Keynes Council, I think, and executive pay,
you won't find. What you'll find is that it will say one person is paid so much, two people are paid this, three people are paid in this band.
That's correct.
They don't actually name them, and therefore it doesn't follow that the person who's getting the most amount of money is the chief executive.
No, do you think they should name names?
I think they should.
It's a public service.
I read with disgust actually that this woman from Bath University, the vice chancellor, she's stepping down from the panel that sets the wages. It's too late. B, she always left the room when they were discussing her salary, so she had personally no control over her salary. But she's decided that she will step down from that particular.
That's very good of her. Very noble, don't you think?
Very, very noble. I think paid far too much, but there we go. Points for discussion this morning, and we hope you're going to come back to us and give us your views as well.
Going back to that story, I'm yet to decide or determine what these vice chancellors and chancellors actually do to get this money.
Well, the chief executives, that's all.
What do they do?
Well, what does any chief executive do? They go and play golf.
Well, that's true.
They host cocktail parties.
They do, yes.
They go around and they smile at their staff because they can't remember their names.
Do they do that? They smile?
Sometimes they smile,
I didn't think they did that.
If they turn over and the business is doing well, if not, they go around with a scowl. But they still can't remember the employees' names, So.
Have we had any texts yet this morning? You won't see because the phone's the wrong way round.
Oh, well, it was both in that way.
I've challenged people this morning to phone in.
Helped by the Beatles. Oh, there you go. You see, we've got to play that for your nephew Milo, haven't we?
Yeah. Do you know what he was doing last night? He was sleeping out on cardboard.
Really?
This is what he was listening to. He's doing a thing at the Scouts because they've been told they've got to experience what it's like to be homeless. So he said to his mother, "Can I take my phone?" She said, "No, of course you can't." He said, "Well, homeless people have phones."
Yes, they do.
More to the point, they have dogs. How do they afford these dogs?
Well, and how do they afford the phones?
Exactly right.
They've got better
and how do you get a phone if you haven't got a fixed address?
Well, it's probably quite easy because there's a lot of people that reluctantly give their phones up to people, so muggers they're called,
Oh, of course.
But not as I'm saying that homeless people mug to get the phones, but I don't know about you guys, but when I woke up this morning and it was still dark and I nearly turned over and decided not to bother.
Yes.
They say that a good night's sleep can leave you feeling ready for anything because it reduces the fear factor. Scientists have shown fear factor. What's a fear factor? This discovery could be used to treat and prevent post-traumatic stress disorder in military personnel. Blimey.
We got a story about military personnel, haven't we, this morning?
Have we?
On the submarine.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. We're going to come on to that one. Just to slip back just for a second, I just found out the chief executive of Milton Keynes Council is the highest paid employee, and the salary is £157,000.
Oh, less than we thought.
£157k.
And who is that?
Carol Mills.
Oh, so it does say, they've changed that then.
Well, it does say they name the people on salaries over 150,000.
Oh, they never used to, did they?
No, but they do now.
Transparency.
We've got transparency in many respects. I mean, this is on the council's own website, to be fair. It's senior employees earning more than 150,000, we publish their names and job titles. Senior employees earning between 50 and 150,000, we publish their job titles only. All other employees earning more than 50,000, we publish this in data bands.
Is that discriminatory?
No, it's an eminently sensible approach, and sometimes you've got to say that the council are doing a good job, and on that one, they are.
I think as well, there's a thing called data protection. If somebody wants to turn around and say, I'm getting £48,000 a year, then okay, fine. It's their business if they want to share it with people. But there's a lot of people that when you talk to them, they say, oh, you've got a good job, oh yeah, I've got a great job, and you try and drag it out of them, well, what's your annual salary, and they say, oh, it's enough to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, and they'll never come back and say to you.
I do think rich people like you are on these sort of executive pensions, Mike. You need to be a bit more transparent with the amount of money that you are actually copping from the government, which is, just because you've served, a good portion of your life in the military and all that good stuff, why should you get anything from the government?
Do you know, my
plastic soldiers.
My good lady wife will totally disagree with you. Well, she maintains that I personally am too honest, because I tell anybody anything, they want to know.
Oh, I get accused of that as well.
And she said, why do you tell people your business?
Exactly.
I said, well, because somebody's asked, they want to know, whether I'm rich.
That
or
sounds
I'm
like
poor.
the sort of person that hides their address on envelopes in the rubbish.
Yes. Yeah, mine does exactly that too.
That's right, and cuts it up into...
They're very similar, aren't they, in that respect? But I get told the same thing. Why do you tell people that? Why do you discuss your business with people? I said, because it doesn't bother me. I'm quite open with things.
You know where this all stems from, don't you? This business of hiding your address in the rubbish.
No.
Alice's Restaurant.
Is it? Well, Arlo Guthrie.
Arlo Guthrie, you see. If you listen to the words of the song...
anything you want in Alice's Restaurant.
Right.
Including Alice.
See, what they've done is they took some stuff to the city tip, and the city tip was closed.
That's right.
So they dumped it just next to the city tip, and when they dumped it at the city tip, they'd left an envelope with their address on it.
That's right.
Which the police officer subsequently found and made them go and clear all the rubbish from the tip.
Have you recently seen this film or something?
No.
You've got a good memory.
Sometimes.
It takes me back, it was what, the 60s?
Yeah.
But you see, he is a filmmaker, so...
Well, of course he is. We haven't heard a lot about that lately, have we?
No, we haven't.
We won't go into that.
No.
I tell you what, though, I can tell you something that I did yesterday, which was amazing. I flew a spaceship.
You flew a spaceship. Well, out of a fairy liquid bottle. You've been waiting for your dad to empty for so long.
Slightly more sophisticated, that. It was a total immersion virtual reality. And believe me, I tell you, how can you get motion sickness when you're sitting down? It's quite freaky.
Well, you can. Have you ever watched this circular screen like they have in Las Vegas and places, where you're going over a cliff edge, or on a roller coaster, and you feel it. You can feel the whole movement of it.
This was completely immersive virtual reality.
Where was this?
360. It's a friend. He's converted his loft into it's a bit like the Starship Enterprise.
Got some funny friends, isn't he?
I do. This guy, I work with him. He's a really nice bloke. And
I sort of get him in on the show on a Friday.
He is offered to come in, actually, and do a little bit of videoing for us. To do a live video stream.
You keep saying this, but it never happens, does it?
No, I can't get him out of bed. That's the problem, because he sits up all night flying his spaceship. But I had a go last night, and I didn't believe technology could get so inside your head. The other thing, of course, I was doing some art. I was painting in space. Now that is an incredible feeling.
I think this is called cocaine or something.
I can absolutely assure you.
This is on to another story, doesn't it?
I can assure you, though, that it's all the drug you need is the technology. You don't need to enhance
the technology.
it. Although there was a glass of wine that did go with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
didn't that float around the room though?
Or two.
Well, it might have been even 3 by the end of the night. But we were between us. We cleaned a bottle out. So it was great fun, and I've never experienced it before. I've never, this totally immersive reality. The other really interesting thing about it is you can record your trip.
Oh.
So I was doing interstellar trips, right? I was going beyond warp speed. It was like an episode of Star Trek. It's going on actually inside your head.
Do you think we're safe, Mike?
I don't know. Good morning, Pat. I hope you're listening. It's Trish.
Trish, don't say Pat.
She'll be on the phone.
When are we going to get a size 9 stiletto heel coming flying through the window?
No, Trish, you know that.
She's got big feet. She's got bigger feet than I have.
She's got big nose as well.
So we're going to see this on the interweb, are we? This bit of film of you and your spacecraft?
I do believe Jason. Oh, he calls himself something. I'll tell you
Captain
what.
Scarlet, probably. Or something.
No, but what I'll do is I'll post a link on the. I'll get his permission first, but then I'll post a link to some of his work, which is amazing.
I can't wait.
Right, good morning, listener. It is now 8:30 here in Milton Keynes. I'm White Barry.
I'm Bob Bluffield.
I was just drinking some Red Bull. I'm Alan Mallyon.
And together we are
The Grumpy Old Men.